Hello everyone. Today I am going to make another basic typography t-shirt design because the typography is the main part of a good design. You should work on typography more because without a good typography a good vector does not look very good. So that's why again another typography design. So I am just using this message here just to show you this design. Now this is, you can just search on Google like motivational quotes, happy quotes, anything you want. You will find a lots of text example like this. You can take them. So I'm using this one here. So the main focus of my this design is I am going to use only typography here, nothing else, no vector works. So first step is arranging the text. So let's do that. So this is the first layout I am going to create here. I'm going to make this happy text a bit bigger in size because this is the going to be the focus point of my design. So I am using here maybe my geared slab font here and in capital form. So this is the first focus point of my this text, this design. For this one, this being one, I am going to use something like a scripted font. So I have some font like this one is a good font, Hello Ventica regular. You can use this font. So this is the font name guys, if you want to download it. Okay, if I make it this font it will be easy to read the font name. So this is the first font I am using here. Then I am using another one here that is called geared slab. These two font I am using right now. So the first letter should be capital like this being. I am just placing something like this so that I can just overlapping these two text with each other. So this is the first part. Now for this happy part, this part is going to be the third one. So I am taking this font for the is here, being happy is. Then this letting, I am going to make something like, maybe we can choose another font or let's take this font, that geared syllab. I am just arranging the layout first just like this. Then maybe, okay, let's select this being font, let's make it this font, and then this one I'm going to make this font. I'm just changing the idea right now. So this is the first position here. If I select my this being text, I can make it smaller. Then this is one, I'm going to make this is one in this font, not that font, in this geared syllab font, or I can simply click on these font names that will pick that color. Okay, let's keep it side right now. Now this one I am going to make, maybe this font is letting go, something like this. Maybe use another font, Explorer script one, sorry, serif one. So this is Explorer serif. I am using this font here. The main focus of my this design is using different fonts because most of the times we do designs with one or two font maybe, but it's a good thing to try different fonts in different designs in a single design. So that's make it look good. So I have now three font here. This one, if I make it a bit smaller like this, then you can see this is the font name. If you cannot find this Explorer font, you can search on our group. Okay, so this go off. I'm going to use this text here, maybe in this font. Or I have another idea. I have another font that is called Joseph Sophia. This font is really good. And why this font is good? Because I'm just giving you the name here. As you can see, this font have some inbuilt source in it, and that is really good. That's why I like this font. So this is the font name, Joseph Sophia. Okay, if I want to bring those extra options here, I need to press Shift T on my keyboard. You can see here, press Shift T, it is going to bring this task type tool. You can also find this option here inside the type panel, task type tool. And if I click on any letter, I can select them individually. So just like this, then make this go like this, then this F like this in this direction, and then this one here I am going to use this option, this lab option. Then I can select this one, bring them left like that, just to match with the text here. So as you can see, I have created a cool looking text effect here, just using a font, nothing fancy I am doing here. So this is just a layout, letting go of what slows you down. So this what I am going to use my geared seller font. I want to keep it a bit smaller so that it fits inside the area. That's good. Now for this slows, this slow is another focus point of my this design. I am using this Hello Ventica font. Let's make the S. Okay, I made the S capital, but it is not looking very good. So maybe I can simply click on this. Yes, this Joseph Sophia font is looking good with this capital S. Now I want to make it bigger because this is the focus point, another focus point here. This slows you down. I am going to use maybe this Explorer font, just like this. So this is the basic layout of my font, and when I have the font in however style I want to just simply, what I do first step is I keep a copy, so that if necessary I can do modifications here and then replace that font here. So in this one I don't need them to act like a font anymore. So let's select all of them, go to right click and then create outline. It will break them. Now they are not a font anymore. Okay, let's press Ctrl Z to come back. I want to do some modifications here, like this area. As you can see, this is a bit upper than the other text, and that is creating a space here in this area. So if I press Shift T for task type tool, I can select my Y, and then I can bring that a little up like this, just little up, maybe one more step to match the height of the edge, or maybe I can select the edge to bring that down to match my Y. Now this is not the way of placing a Y, it should be follow the lower part of the text, but this is just a design, so I am trying to make it look good, just like that. Let's break that font. I don't need that to act like a font anymore. So for this text here, if I make it smaller, I want to fill the entire area here. So let's increase the space between the text, just like this. Then maybe go to effect, wrap, and then arc. Okay, this that much is a bit bigger, so let's use 20%, maybe that is good. Let's make it bigger. Then I need to break it. Now I break the font, but I didn't break the effect here, that I applied the arc effect. So it is acting like this, and whenever we are applying anything to our design, we need to break that. So go to object, expand appearance to break any effect you applied. So this is looking good. I am selecting these two, aligning them to the center, and sometime it looks like in measurement it is in center, but it doesn't look like center. So I need to do some adjustment to make them, place them in center position, just like that. This, then I want to use my this is text, so this should be, I am selecting that one and breaking. Now I am going to use that here, just like this. Okay, maybe we can, okay, as you can see, when there is their font, they have some bigger space than the actual size, so that's why I need to break them. I am breaking this one because I don't need them to that act like a font. So I want to place my ease here. Let's create a shape here, just a simple ellipse, just like that. Then cut, paste in back. Now my is on top, and then this is the ellipse. If I select them both, I can align them perfectly center wise, so that is good. Now I am selecting my this. Okay, maybe I can select them both, just like this. Then selecting my ellipse, go to object, path, and then offset path. I am creating a 10 pixel ellipse offset path for my ellipse. Press OK. Now we have two ellipse, you can see here. One ellipse inside, one is outside. So if I, the outside one is selected. Now if I press shift X, it is going to convert that into a stroke. So if I make that a stroke 10 pixel, it is looking like this, and I like this style. So if I select my this is here and then this one here, the inside ellipse, I have to make sure that my is on top. That means if I click here, my is selecting, that means this is on top. If my ellipse was in top, then if I click like this, it would select the ellipse, not the text. Or simply you can change the colors to understand that is on top, selecting this one and the inside ellipse. Then go to pathfinder, press alt and click on this minus front. It is going to erase that is part from there, and let's go to object and expand. So this is just to create a this kind of looking shape here, so that it is very small but it is still catching on my, like I can see it as it is right now. So just to give that a focus, I create this effect here. So that is good for me right now. Now I am selecting this one here, this happy text here. Sometimes we need to do some modifications, like if I take my pen tool, I can click here, then some like point like this, maybe one shape like that, then click here, then click something like this, just like this. As you can see, I create a shape here. And now if I select my happy text and my shape, press shift M for shape builder, I can press alt and erase this part, just to make that part look good, because I didn't like the style it was before. So that is good. Now I want to select my is text, this shape and the happy, then make them a group, because I want to act like a one shape. Then of course this one also I can make a group like my happy text to keep their position as it is. Now maybe I can make them bigger so that it fits the same height of my letting text, just like this. So I have, right now I have a, I'm pressing Ctrl R for the ruler tool. I can bring one ruler here like this, then pressing Alt to change the direction, or simply I can take a ruler from this area, then place it something like this, so that I can identify the edge of my design where it should be. Now for this one here, okay, let's keep them apart. Now I'm selecting this text, right click and create outline. I need to make sure that everything is inside the same wide area, same ruler area. Now this one is overlapping my letting text, and I want to overlap it just a little bit, just like this. Then when my this text is selected, go to object, path, and then offset path, create 10 pixel offset path or any size you want, click OK, then cut. Now I am selecting my this letting text, then open the transparency here, press Ctrl F. It is going to look like this. Now for this one here, I didn't use the transparency because this is a one-time job. I don't want to make any changes here. But in this area, I am using the transparency because maybe in future I will make some changes here. Or if I need to make some changes here, I can always make some changes if I am using the transparency. If I am using the minus front, I can still do make some changes, but if I expand it like I did, then it's done. I cannot go back to make changes there. Okay, so it's looking like this, that is good. So this one here I am going to make it a bit bigger, maybe just like this, or maybe a bit smaller, but increase the space between the text, just like this. Then break the font. I don't want it to act like a font, so just like this. Okay, not like that, sorry for that, just like this. So this is good. Now that part is not important. I am going to focus on my this slow text here. Let's break the font, or maybe before breaking, if I make the last S also capital, it is looking like this. Let's press shift T to select the last S. Now if I bring that closer to other text, it is looking like this. So as you can see, this is looking maybe better than before. So let's break the font. I don't need them to act like a font. Then I want to just like this place it at the position where I want it to be. So I'm just overlapping it with my other text, and then of course I can remove the I can move the position of my this text here. So maybe let's make it a bit smaller. Then if I go to this rounded rectangle tool, I can create a rounded rectangle here, just like this. If you are using a CC version of Illustrator, then you will get these corner points. I can make them smaller like this, and if you are using a CS version, then you will not find that option, but you should use the update version always. So this is the text and this is my shape. I am selecting them both, center, horizontal and vertical center. So when my text is on top, let's change the color. If I select this two like this, I can go to Pathfinder and then press Alt and minus front, because I don't want to make any changes here. Okay, so let me show you. We created that minus front effect and I didn't expand it. So if I double click here, I can select these shapes, and as you can see, I can always modify the text here. So let's go back. But once I expand it, like if I select this one, when you cannot select a color from here, your stroke and fill panel is not showing up, properties panel, that means it needs to be expanded. So go to object and expand appearance. Now you have the fill and the stroke color option. So that means I cannot go back to this that point to make changes. Of course I can do, I can always do undo, but sometimes like you are working on a big project, you make some changes like 10 to 20 times. I have set it like 100 times, I can go back 100 times, but sometimes it's hard to work like that. So I'm selecting my this slow text, go to object, path, and then offset path again to create the same size offset path. Then click, press Ctrl X to cut it. Now this go off is on top of my letting text, so in this area I want to keep the slows on top. So I'm selecting the go off text, create the, open the transparency, press Ctrl F, sorry for that, press Ctrl F. It is going to paste that same offset path of the slows text, just like this. Now this is looking like this. I want this part of the G should be on top, like to keep on top of my S, and this S should be on top of this F. So that's why I don't need this area here. If I click here, I can select it, I can delete that, just like this. Then if I select my this letting text, inside the transparency I will find the offset path of this all text. So I'm selecting this G1, then copy, click here, then select this slows text, open the transparency, press Ctrl F. It is going to paste it inside the transparency, and it is looking like this. This G is on top of the S, and then this S is on top of my F. So this may sound like a bit confusing, but don't worry. So this is how my design is looking right now. And as I created a little effect here, arc effect, so if I take my this U down text and press I for the eyedropper and pick my this geared slab font, I wanted to make it like this explorer font, but then I realized that it is in geared slab, so the last part should be also in geared slab. Just a thought of mine. So I am just going to effect, wrap, and then arc. So previously we take a 20% blend option. So if I press my shift on my keyboard and then scroll my mouse downwards, it is going to bring it downwards. So this time I am using minus 20% or maybe minus 30%, because this is a small text, this is a bigger text, so that is making the, okay, maybe let's use just 20%, no problem. Or maybe we can use it like, if I am pressing shift, I can move it like 10 pixel at once, 30, 40, 50. But if I just want to do it manually, then I need to, I am not pressing anything, now I am just scrolling my mouse wheel to make it like 1 pixel at a time. So 20% is looking good for me. Let's press OK. Now for this one here, let's make it a bit bigger, just like this, but that is too much bigger. Maybe like this. Yeah, that is good. So this part is looking good. Now this is the font, so I can always make changes like increase the size between the text, but that is good. It is as it is looking good. So I'm right clicking and create outline. Now as I applied the arc effect here, I want to expand it something like this, that is good. Let's bring that a bit closer. So just like this is the final. So this is the final design for this one here. Now as we are creating some effect here, we can always make some changes. This is not a hand lettering, so we can add some effect to our this design here. Like if I want to keep it as it is, I can, but I want to make some changes here. So I'm taking my curvature tool here. So here is a bend option here. Let's click something like this area, then one click here, it will make this arc. So something like this, just a little bit, that is good. Then press shift X for make it in a stroke mode. Now I can do some changes here. If I click on this curvature tool again, it is going to continue from this side, but I want to make some changes for this pointer. I can always do that. That is a good option for this curvature tool. Now it is continuing from this area, but don't worry, press ESC on your keyboard, just like this. It is going to cut that, or you can simply click on this move tool, selection tool. It is going to discontinue the line. So something like this. I'm making it a little bit bigger, maybe a bit closer to each other. This is just up to you guys how you want to represent it. So maybe a bit bigger, 30 point. Then I'm making it round cap. That will, as you can see, this is a hard cut at the end. If I go to this stroke option and make it round, it is going to make it this round effect. So that is good. That is looking good for me. Now for this area here, I can make a similar effect, but to be honest, I don't like this. I don't need that. So that is good. So for this area here, I wanted to create something for this area. So let's create a line like this, but not that much bigger, a bit smaller in size. 20 point is good for me, I think. Just like this. Then I'm going to take a star here. I love stars to use in my design. Now as you can see, this is looking like this. It is in a stroke mode, no fill, but if I press shift X, it is going to become a fill. Then it is looking like this. I want to place the, okay, I can simply select these two star and the line, horizontal and vertically align them to place in the center position. That is good. Now if I select my this stroke, press shift E for eraser, and I am pressing alt to erase like this. Now I can erase these parts from here. Make sure that your eraser is not too much bigger in size, because if I make it bigger in size and then erase it, it is going to erase the bigger part. So make it smaller. So that is good. I think it should be a bit up like this. Okay, that is good. Now I am selecting this star and this two line. Then I can simply click on this option here, horizontal distribute space. It is going to place them in the center position. So that is good. Let's make them a group. That three a group together, then I can bring them down to this point just to fill this area, and that is good. Now if you want to make some modifications in anything, any area you want, you can do that. I'm just going to use some more stars here, like one star at this area, but a bit rotated, then one here, just like this to follow the curve here. And of course one star here we can use. Here is a empty space, so let's use it something like this. Then a copy here, maybe a bit bigger, then another copy here with the, okay, so let's erase this three. I am going to create one, because that helps the proportion, right? You can see the rectangle here. That is why I created another one, not using a rotated one. So something like this. Now if I select them like this, I can align them perfectly center wise. Then I can distribute the space between them. That is good. Something like this, that is of course good. Now I can make a copy here, right click, transform and reflect, click OK. Now this one also should be aligning with the ruler here, just like this. Then if it is overlapping with anything, you can fix that area. Now this one I am going to make another copy here, because there is some space. So that is it. That's it guys. it is just up to you how you want to modify your designs. If you want to, then maybe I will use another star here to make it. Okay, so let's do something else here. Let's take a ellipse here, just like this, a smaller ellipse. Not a ellipse, a shape like that. I don't know what this shape called, a oval shape or something like a narrow oval. I don't know. So go to brush panel, create a art brush, click OK. It is going to give us a brush just like this. That is good. Now I am taking my brush tool to create some lines here, just like this. Okay, not that much bigger, just like that. That is good, I think. Sorry for that. Select this three. I can always bring them to this side to represent the area here, maybe like this. I don't know. Okay, so this is how it is looking right now. Maybe I don't need them. Thank you guys. I'm just wasting some time here. So that is good. I think this much is looking good. So this is the basics of a typography t-shirt design. You can see I am not doing anything very much fancy here. I am just using some fonts here and just placing them in a way that I want. Okay, this area is looking a bit weird, so I'm selecting the letting text inside the transparency. As I told you that I can always make changes. If I select it, press shift M for shape builder, I can make them look like that. Then select this one, I can hide that area, and that is not visible right now. So that is good. Now I want you guys to do some practice here. You can add some more of elements of your own to make it a good looking design. Now you can show me in the group. So that's it guys for today's video. I hope you learned something new from here. Thank you everyone. See you in the next video guys. And my course is starting from today, so pray for us. I hope we can do something good together. So thank you everyone. See you in the next video guys. Have a great time.